Welcome friends, in this one we're going to take a look at proving that the union of any number of open subsets over 2 is open. So we're going to proceed as follows. I'm going to give you a kind of symbolic breakdown and also we'll use pictures to motivate the process a little so it doesn't seem so abstract. So first of all, I'm going to let A be a class of open subsets of R2 and let H be the union of all G such that G belongs to A. So roughly speaking, you can imagine that sentence that I've just read as this quantity where I'm kind of located inside of now. So you have basically like a union of some open sets. Next stage, take a look. Let P belong to H. So that's some point P somewhere within H. So specifically in this case, I put it right there above my head. So I'm locating P within this union of sets. Now to show, what we must show is that P is an interior point of H. What that essentially tells you is you can enclose it within a bowl. Okay? Open bowl, that is. So more specifically, that is, we must show that there's a disk, call it D sub P, such that P belongs to this disk, and that the disk is a subset of H. That's our goal here. Right now, I'm just beginning with H. I have a point in here, nothing else, okay? So now I'm going to proceed as follows. So since P belongs to H, and H is a union of these sets G, there's an open set, call it G sub 0, such that P belongs to G sub 0. Let's slow down for a second. I'm going to scroll up a little bit, okay? Look at this picture right here. So this is my H, the whole entire shape. And I'm going to pick one of these subsets, like for example, this subset right here. I'm going to call that G sub 0. And it's an open subset of H. And I'm going to locate P in there. The fact that P is not location is not special. P could be like over here or above my head. And then I would enclose P in some kind of open subset G sub 0 over there, you see? So this is just kind of meant to suggest the thinking process. Now continue. But this set G sub 0 is open. So in other words, you see it's a dashed line all around the boundary of the set essentially. That's a way to think about it. So there is a disk D sub P that contains the point P. That sentence that I've just read, that corresponds to now around P constructing a disk. So that point is in the center of the disk, roughly speaking. You have a disk around it, and of course that little disk is usually open. It's like an open ball, open circle, if you like. The boundary is not included, and it's called D sub P. So what this allows us to conclude clearly is that P belongs to the D sub P, but then D sub P is a subset of G sub 0, correct? So this is expressed in this picture here, if you look at it carefully. P is contained in D sub P, so it's a member of D sub P. But then D sub P clearly is a subset of G sub 0. You see that in this picture here. Now, think about this. Since G sub 0 is a subset of H, that means that D sub P is also a subset of H. You see that again in this picture if you look very carefully, right? So here's D sub P. You see it's a subset of G sub 0. It's inside it, kind of. But clearly then, that little disk is also a subset of all of H, which is the much bigger set. Right? The one that I'm tracing. Clearly that D sub P is contained within the whole thing. And it's a little open ball around P. So what that allows you to conclude essentially is that H is open. That's all. See, P is arbitrary, so I did it over here. Anytime you do a picture, you kind of, fix the configuration, but you can't get stuck on the picture because the P is arbitrary. It could actually be located anywhere here. And I could apply a very similar argument. Let me just zoom out so you can see all of the detail from top to bottom. Hopefully that will work for you. I've decided to illustrate with just 3 pictures to give you a hint as to the thinking process. If you think about it carefully, maybe more pictures would be in order. If you wanted to be more careful as a visual thinker, this gets the idea across. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in another video.